Hi, I'm Jeff Favalo, Director of Sales for Disc Makers. Would you rather have 100,000 streams or 100 real fans? I recently had the privilege of speaking at the Folk Alliance conference about the importance of physical media in 2026. That quickly shifted over the importance of building a strong fan base instead of just an audience of casual listeners. Tony and I thought this was a great topic and that I was going to cover it. As an independent artist, you've probably spent a lot of time thinking about how to get more listeners, more streams, more followers, more people discovering your music. It's understandable. Every social media platform, every streaming service, and every entertainment marketing expert seem to be telling artists the same thing: grow your audience, get bigger, and reach more people. But after working with thousands of artists over the last 30 years, I've noticed something interesting. A lot of artists aren't struggling because they don't have enough listeners. They're struggling because they don't know how to turn those listeners into fans. And those are two different things. Let's get back to the question of streams versus true fans. At first glance, it sounds like an easy answer, right? Who wouldn't want 100,000 streams? It's impressive. It looks good on your profiles. It feels like success. But let's dig a little deeper, because 100,000 streams doesn't necessarily mean 100,000 people love your music. It might mean someone heard a song once on a playlist, or maybe they skipped halfway through your song and barely remember your name 5 minutes later, if at all. Now let's talk about those 100 fans, not casual listeners, not random people who stumbled across a song. I'm talking about people who genuinely care about what you're doing. The kind of fans who show up when you release something new, they come to your shows, they tell their friends about your music. Maybe they wear your shirt, they share your posts. They want to see you succeed so they can say they were there when you were first starting out. Those fans are really valuable, and not just financially. They're valuable because they're invested. They're part of your journey. In many ways, they're helping you build your career right alongside of you. Here's an example. Let's say an artist gets 100,000 streams. That's great. Nobody's going to complain about that. But at an average of just over 3/10 of a penny per stream, those streams will pay out under $400 in royalties. But now let's imagine the same artist has 100 fans who each spend $20 over the course of a year. Maybe they buy a CD or a shirt. They pay the cover charge to get into your show. Maybe they grab a vinyl at your merch table. Now you've got $2,000 in direct support. And if some of those fans spend a little bit more, maybe they buy both vinyl and CD, they bring a couple of friends to a show, maybe they buy everything you put out. The numbers start to look very different. The point isn't that streams don't matter, they do. Streams help people discover your music, which is step number one. But discovery and support aren't the same thing. A stream is awareness, a fan is a relationship. And relationships are what keep careers going. Think about your favorite artist. Maybe you've waited in a queue to buy tickets, bought a t-shirt or a record. Maybe you own everything they've ever released. Why? Because at some point you stopped being a listener and became a fan. And it's important to think about the difference. Not everyone who hears your music is the same. I think of it as a pyramid. At the bottom are the casual listeners discovering your music for the first time. Above them, the followers who know who you are and pay attention. Then come the fans, the people who show up, engage, and really care about your music. And at the very top, those are the superfans, the people who buy the signed vinyl, the limited editions, the merch bundles. What's interesting is that most artists spend a lot of their energy trying to grow the bottom of the pyramid. More listeners, more followers, more reach. And it's important, but the biggest opportunities are often at the top of the pyramid. How do you better serve your existing fans? How do you reward the people already supporting you? And how do you create experiences they're going to remember and talk about and tell their friends about? Because that's how listeners become fans and fans become super fans. It's also a reason physical media still continues to surprise people. Every year someone asks who buys CDs anymore, why is vinyl still a thing, and they're fair questions. Streaming is easier, it's faster, it's more convenient. So why would somebody buy physical music? It has nothing to do with convenience. They're not buying vinyl because it's easier than Spotify. They're buying it because it means something, or because they want to own a piece of the music they love. They're buying it because they're supporting an artist they care about. And that's really the lesson here. The goal isn't just to collect listeners. The goal is to build a connection to your fans. Listeners come and go. They stream your song once, maybe more. They discover you, but they might not remember you. Fans stick around. They support you and help you grow as an artist. And over time, those relationships become way more valuable than most artists realize. So if you're looking at your metrics and your followers aren't growing as fast as you like, here's something to consider. Instead of asking, how do I get 10,000 more listeners? Maybe ask, how do I better serve the people already listening? Because when you do that, something interesting happens. You stop chasing the numbers and you start building a community. And in today's world, that's really important to create and sustain a career. That's why 100 fans can sometimes be worth more than 100,000 streams. What do you think you'd rather have? Let me know.